yoga. I will now brief the details of your mission orders. That's all I have to say to you right now, people. If you all really are innocent, then I suggest you prove it out there on the battlefield.
We have discovered the position of a secret facility in Yuktobania, used to store ammunition. According to our information, the base is located deep in the jungles north of Lake Dama. The facility is massive and contains enough ammunition to supply a Yuktobanian ground division for a week of combat operations. Destroy this stockpile and cut off their frontline ammunition supply. Note that we've been getting a lot of attacks from soldiers hiding in the dense jungles with shoulder-mounted SAMs. They are very hard to detect from the air, so stay heads up for sudden attacks from these missiles when flying at low altitude.
Okay, can I buy aircraft? Oh, that's right, I forgot I spend money. I can't buy any aircraft. Okay, so I guess I'll be flying the F-14. Oh, that's right. I'm not starting the mission yet. Now I gotta start the mission.
Captain, please choose my plane.
Which plane am I going up in, Captain?
Chopper will fly the F-16.
Captain, which plane should I use?
As well as Archer. Oh, that's right. I don't have a spare. Okay. So it's just the one.
So, we're going up in this formation?
Yep, just a little ragtag group of planes. I keep wanting to say ships.
War Dog, launch.
I am so used to Star Trek.
Jeez, now they got us turning right back into another battle. And this scenery definitely clashes with my rock and roll.
I'm just glad they're not ordering us to attack a city in retaliation for their retaliation.
You're a real optimist, you know that? Sheesh.
This is Thunderhead. Cut the chatter.
Oh, I just wish I could fly somewhere where I didn't have to listen to that voice.
You did until yesterday.
You'll be arriving at your target area shortly.
Well, I don't want to listen to that interrogation committee at the Capitol either.
The actual armory is located in an underground shelter. Fire missiles into the tunnel and destroy it from the inside.
Kid, it has to be straight on or your missiles won't make it inside. Understand? Good. The approach slope will be very severe, so don't get it wrong and slam into the thing.
Planes detected on radar. They clear in silence. Their intended target is believed to be the Sami's dot. All the Variac teams prepare to engage aircraft.
Missile approaching. Turning to evade. Archer, engaging.
Break right, missiles!
They're shoulder-launched SAMs! Enemy soldiers in the jungle!
They aren't showing up on my radar.
This is Thunderhead. Our search radar is clean. We can't see the launchers.
Man, you're useless! I never complain about my missions, okay? What I'm doing now is not complaining.
Sure, it's not.
Did you notify all nearby units?
We're still only halfway there, but I'd like to start worrying about how we're gonna get back.
The enemy is spread out over a wide area. Repeat, the enemy is spread out over a wide area.
My warning lights have been going crazy.
Missile break! Missile hit! Alright, here they come.
Here they come again, stubborn little bastards.
Missile alert! Behind us!
Don't get strung out chasing them too far. Damn it, the radar team is useless!
Fox 2! I just want to get this harness off and jump into a hot tub. I'm tired of sitting on this ejection seat.
Well, Chopper, when in doubt, just pull the cord.
The jet lag's getting to me.
They're over there! Fire!
Archer, Fox 2.
I'm joining up with Mariac 1. You can't rely on support here. We have to do this ourselves. Hold your fire! You're not going to hit anything from here!
Chopper, Fox 2!
We're in a jungle. They can't see us. They spotted us! Moving to another firing position!
It's an AA missile. Can you tell where it was fired from?
The ground?
Roger, but we better not take any risks trying to shoot them down. Be careful.
We'll never get to all of them like this.
Blaze, Fox 2! Missile hit! Variac 5, let's fire on them at the same time!
Dropping! Weapons released!
Alright, here they come! Bring them in closer! Closer! Blaze, Fox 2! The transport facility is under attack!
Fox 2! Fox 2!
I need more time before the next volley! This is a perfect hiding place!
If you say so, buddy. Although, personally, I have
Fox
doubts.
2, Fox 2!
Fox 2! Another tunnel just took a hit! Warning, inbound missile! This area is too muddy. It's going to delay our advance. Shack on the target! Give them another surprise! What's going on? Why can't I hit anything? Break! Missile! Fox 2! Fox 2! Missile hit! This is Variac 2. Moving to box A9. We've crossed the river. Proceeding with attack. There's a river over there. Go the other way. Blaze, Fox 2. Missile hit.
Ooh, you're airborne, so I can fire my pew-pews at you.
Helicopter shot down.
And had I went down instead of up, I could have got that tunnel.
I can't stand this. I want to go home already. How about you?
Nah.
That's our captain. You're built a lot tougher than I am.
Of course.
Missile warning. Fox 2.
Caution! Pull up! Pull up! Maybe I don't want to pull up. Maybe I like it down there.
Listen to me. This is the ammo dump. We can't have any fire in here. If this place blows up, this whole area will just be one big crater. Blaze, Fox 2. Blaze shot down a helicopter. Approaching gun range.
Fox 1! Target acquired.
Fox 2! Fox 2! Splash 1! Splash 1! This whole place is a tinderbox. Look how well it burns.
Enemy plane shot down.
This defensive fighter maneuver training is nice and all, but I'd like to move on if you don't mind. Oh man, I just pictured myself walking back home through the jungle. Fox 2! Fox 2! Warning, inbound missile! Shack on the target.
Okay, so if I approach from this side, I can get the tunnel. Here's what I don't get. I told my crewmates to disperse, and yet they're all tailing behind me. I don't think these guys are very
Missile
bright.
hit.
Blaze, Fox 2!
Direct hit on the ammo dump. Our targeting range is limited from here. Damn it, I'm out of fuel. The transport ship's still loading supplies right now. We can't go any faster on foot.
Ain't there a shame?
Must have got to its circuitry.
This missile warning alarm is getting on my nerves. Help! Whew, I'm safe now! Be careful while you're taxiing for takeoff.
Missile hit! Tunnel 3 is in flames! Enemy fighter spotted. All flights, bring your air defense units further back. Don't let them penetrate our airspace any further.
Oh, you mean like this?
Watch the backblast!
Fox 2!
It's setting off explosions elsewhere. Room temperature rising. The ammo's gonna start going off by itself. It's over. Evacuate all personnel.
Shockwave from the explosion.
The armories in this area have been destroyed.
What was that? That was a huge explosion.
That's some stockpile of supplies they got there. They were serious about preparing for this war.
Keep the defenses up. This base isn't all that vulnerable. The shells are all exploding. We can't get near them. The fire spread too far. It's out of control. Get out of there. You're gonna get fried.
Here comes a shockwave. The ammo dump's blown up.
Wow, I bet that left a crater as big as those ones on the moon. The armories in this area have been shut down.
The temperature inside the ammo dump is rising to a dangerous level. Do whatever it takes to keep the fire away from the main ammo dump. Enemy missile! Direct hit! Direct hit! The fire crew's all been wiped out. Send out somebody else! This whole place is gonna be blown away!
Wow! It's like a volcanic eruption.
Hey, I didn't think it would blow up like that. Must be pretty bad in there. You thinking the same thing? Break! Missile! Check 6!
What's sad is that I was expecting him to be asking me that.
Contact cut off! Situation unknown! Have you forgotten that we're holding the supply lifeline of our entire army? If you don't want to lose this war, then hurry up and destroy the enemy! This is Tunnel 4! The fire's begun to set off explosions here too! It's
Sure you can.
This is the thickest barrage I've ever seen.
Hello.
Well, no wonder the enemy's serious about protecting.
So, blow anything up?
I am blowing up what appears to be an ammo dump inside inside of a series of tunnels.
That's a good mission. You get to hear them die.
And I was actually expecting Chopper to be asking me, "Hey, it must be pretty bad in there." I was ready to say, "Nah, they're just fine."
This place. It's a key strategic point.
I mean, the game gives you the opportunity to be a sadist,
Box 2, box 2.
and I don't think Namco thought that all the way through.
Oh no, the ammo dump's gone too!
Oh well.
Oh well, indeed.
All armories destroyed. Mission complete. Return to base.
What are you talking about now?
Mission complete.
Ace combat.
Let's go home.
Nagase. You gotta say that with a little
So,
more
how
feeling.
familiar are you
At
with
least we get to go home
Ace
again
Combat
today, right?
5?
Yeah,
Not at
So,
all.
cheer up a little, huh?
you too, Chopper.
Alright, I'll try and explain this as best I can.
know.
I'm a cadet that was taken up by taken up in a squad headed up by a real Top Gun, a Maverick type of guy. Best of all, he's voiced by Dave Lucas. So you know you got a total package right there.
The targeted ammunition stockpile facility was
The
destroyed.
game starts with
this
him
operation, we have
losing
cut
his
off one of the
entire
lifelines of the
entire
Yuktobanian
group
army.
of
Their ability
trainees.
to conduct operations will be reduced
And I happen to be
across
one of the people that was
entire
on the
nation.
ground that day, along with a couple others. So he takes us up at the time when a mysterious spy plane comes over and starts recording stuff. Then we need to get this guy to surrender. And oh, there's these jets that want to cover for the spy plane. Little song, a little dance. We wind up shoving missiles down their pants, and suddenly we're at war with totally not Russia. Very early on,
Russia like then.
very early on, we lose our Top Gun, and now I'm the guy leading the team. However, the captain did have a spare plane in the hangar, and he was picked, and it was taken up in the air by, oh god, what was his name? Shit, I can't remember his name. He was the second Black Power Ranger. Adam, I think that was his name.
Yeah. I forgot his real name, but Adam.
Yeah, we'll just call him Adam. And all the while we're on again, off again, protecting this aircraft carrier that has an ace pilot of its own, protecting it. And he's voiced by the guy that voices Jet. From Cowboy Bebop. So we got Spike and we got Jet. Oh, cool. So we have new aircraft ready to purchase. Awesome. The stream resumed after an incident after touching down in totally not Russia. We were shooting down a couple of transport planes that were doing an evacuation, and evidently someone in our Air Force has decided to bomb a school, a university to be precise, bombing a civilian target. And while this is going on, there's some jammers going on, so we can't tell anybody that, hey, we're not the ones who did it, but it happened in our area, so Central Command thinks that we did it. But because there was a terrorist attack that took place on home soil, we had to be taken up to deal with the problem. And I guess we were given some kind of reprieve because we're now suddenly back on the battlefield. And we sunk a carrier-class submarine a while back that could launch some kind of cruise missile.
Despite the hectic mood among the staff at HQ,
and apparently there was a second one there.
But the weary pilots, knowing full well that they must force their exhausted bodies back into the air once the order was given, weren't the slightest bit disturbed by the delay.
Hey, what are you writing there?
I just can't remember this next phrase.
Here, let me see.
Hey! The princess couldn't feed the dove that day. She was too sick.
May I take a look?
Rosgrees. The demon of Rosgrees got her, right?
You know the story?
The demon from the North Sea. I remember. My grandma used to tell me bedtime stories about it. And every time she did, I'd be too scared to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night.
Settle down, people.
I know a little about that famous legend, too. When history witnesses a great change, Rosgrees reveals itself, first as a dark demon. As a demon, it uses its power to rain death upon the land, and then it dies. However, after a period of slumber, Rosgrees returns.
Looks like a tarot card of death.
Mm-hmm.
Gentlemen! Excuse me, Colonel. This is an absolutely vital mission to us. As the staff advisor sent from Central HQ for this effort, I'd like to explain it myself. The Osean Army is planning a vast offensive with the ultimate objective of occupying the capital of Yuktobania. If this operation succeeds, it will end the war in very short order. However, the Yuktobanians have attacked our beachhead with ballistic missiles from the Rimfaxi, a Sinfaxi-class submersible carrier stationed in the icy waters of Rosgrees Straits. Fortunately, our ground forces had already completed attack preparations, so despite the missile attack, the offensive began as planned. Nevertheless, we must neutralize the threat of another Rimfaxi missile attack on our ground forces.
We have a single chance to stage a successful air attack on the underwater carrier Rimfaxi. Our passive sonar has detected a transport submarine that we believe is headed for the Rimfaxi. We believe the transport sub's mission is to supply the Rimfaxi with missiles. Based on its course and speed, we've calculated its rendezvous time with the Rimfaxi. By amazing coincidence, it is precisely the same time as the 0 hour of our ground attack. At this time, the Rimfaxi will have to surface to restock its missiles. At that exact moment, ingress at low altitude to avoid detection, launch a surprise attack, and sink the Rimfaxi. Once surfaced, it only takes the Rimfaxi 1 minute to rig for an emergency dive. If your approach is detected, you will only have 1 minute to complete your attack on the Rimfaxi.
I should probably mention that the last time we sunk a Sinfaxi-class sub, we kind of needed the help of an orbiting spacecraft that we just outfitted with a laser cannon.
Yep.
And not long after, the laser cannon was sabotaged or something, so we don't have access to it anymore.
Now keep in mind, there won't be any support from Arkbird this time around. This mission rests solely on your shoulders. The entire ground offensive is relying on this first surprise attack, so don't disappoint us. I want you to turn the icy Razgri Straits into the enemy's graveyard.
And the fat guy's just standing there, just not saying a word this time around. Okay, so I can now purchase the F-15. Anything else I can buy? Actually, now that I think about it, I should probably buy a second F-15.
That's good.
I mean, eventually we're going to need some additional air combat vehicles. Oh, right. Another thing I should probably mention, I had a cheat code set up on a separate save file that I was setting up for after I beat the game, and it looks like I forgot to turn it off.
Oh well.
Oh well, time to do all the buying and purchasing and go on a spending spree, I guess. Hope it doesn't screw up my save file. Most of all, hope it doesn't screw up the game.
That's the only thing I think it really matters. Then save file.
One thing that always worried me was that if you had certain codes on, like infinite missiles or infinite secondary missiles, anything of the sort, and during the game it would produce an effect to where your missiles would go right through its targets.
That sounds annoying.
It sounds like you can't beat the mission at all. I mean, you can't
unless
win.
You're good unless you're really good with the gun.
So in short, you can't beat the game unless you like master it.
I don't even think you could hit with the gun. If I remember right. If I remember how the glitch worked. Okay, for this mission I'm going to need something that can pound ground targets. So for this I'm going to have to use the Fighter Attacker 18C. Ah, it's the Hornet. Okay.
Captain, please choose my plane.
And just so we can build up the F-15's kill record,
Which plane am I going up in, Captain?
let's go ahead and
Captain, which plane should I
equip
use?
everyone with the F-15s. Oh, wait a minute. Chopper is using F-16. You know what? The hell with it.
I'm not sure about this formation's air-to-ground capabilities. Do you still want to go ahead and launch?
Well, yeah, because who knows what kind of air attacks we're going to have, and I need someone covering my back. So, yeah.
War Dog, launch.
I'll worry about ground targets, Edge. You guys just cover my back, and we'll get along just fine.
Pilots, check your plane and prepare for refueling. 1 mile route to refueling craft. Yards to go. 50 yards to go. Blaze, maintain your current flight path. Perfect, Blaze. Commencing refueling.
Yay! Now, if only I could get perfects when landing, that would make my day. Since there's a medal you can get for getting perfects on all landings.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
And that is annoying to get.
Stay at low altitude and fly towards the submarine fleet.
I don't think I ever got it.
Restricted from flying
Ever.
above 1,000 feet. We can't risk having our surprise attack detected.
I'm getting chills. This northern sea is where the demon of Rosgreaves came from.
Rosgreaves.
Huh. There's no way that could have been the Rosgreaves.
Hold your chatter. Commencing comm-out procedures shortly. Maintain radio silence.
Guess I'll cut off the mic and try talking to myself.
Is it even possible to cut off the mic?
I don't know.
Okay, I don't think it's possible to do this without...
This is Lieutenant Colonel Mitchell, the advisor HQ. That picket submarine just sent off an enemy detection notice.
Yeah, I don't think there was any way of doing this without getting detected.
Anyway, I'm gonna start talking now.
Enemy planes, halt all resupply operations. Enemy planes? We're still in the middle of our mission! Damn it! How did they smell us out? Blaze, Fox 2. 30 seconds to Rimfaxi dive! Halt the resupply. Prepare for immediate dive. Hurry up! We gotta dive before the enemy does. Fox 2! Shack on the target.
Damage status on enemy sub unknown.
Those bastards are diving!
This is Submarine Squadron Command. Emergency report from our ground forces in the front line. The enemy is undertaking a large-scale offensive. Attack the enemy forces with long-range missiles from the Rimfaxi. Urgent. Transmitting target coordinates. This is Rimfaxi. We cannot comply. We are unable to launch missiles underwater due to battle damage. What's the point of your existence if you don't fire now? They're penetrating our defense lines as we speak. Hurry up before they overrun our allies. Emergency surface. Grab onto something. Once we break the surface, launch the missiles in unmanned drones.
The Rimfaxi's antenna has appeared above water. It's surfacing.
I have to say, the Synfaxi class subs, they are pretty impressive.
Yep.
If only they were real.
Launching carrier jets.
And under our control.
This is Lieutenant Colonel Mitchell, the advisor HQ. I'm getting you info in real time from our tracker satellite. Time your attacks to hit the Rimfaxi when it surfaces. Sink it before it deals any more damage to our ground forces with its missiles.
Rimfaxi, you're dealing lethal damage to the Ocean Army. Give me one more shot. Drive them back to the coastline.
I'll take care of the threat from the escort subs, too.
If Ukes lose that monster, it'll be a huge blow to them. No wonder they got all those escorts.
Come on, come on! The enemy's gonna attack any minute now! The Rimfaxi is diving! Come on! Surface! I'm sick of waiting for you! On. Teach them a lesson. We're gonna take down every single one of them!
Sink the Rimfaxi and those burst missiles will go away too.
Yeah. And if we remove the threat of that metal rain, the war could end early.
And then we can go on leave. It's perfect.
The Rimfaxi has broken the surface. Commence attack!
There you are.
All hands, take your positions. Make your country proud. Don't disgrace this ship.
Fox 1!
Well, that happened.
Yep.
Lesson learned. Don't fly directly over the damn sub.
1 mile to refueling craft. 100 yards to go. Blaze, maintain your current flight path. Perfect, Blaze. Commencing refueling.
And fly towards the submarine fleet. You are restricted from flying above 1,000 feet. We can't risk having our surprise attack detected.
I'm getting chills. This northern sea is where the demon of Rosgreaves came from.
Rosgreaves?
Huh. There's no way that could have been the Rosgreaves.
Hold your chatter. Commencing comm-out procedures shortly. Maintain radio silence.
Guess I'll cut off the mic and try talking to myself.
Yeah, I could never beat this mission unless I was using the, that jet that launches, like, a mass scatter bomb.
This is Mitchell. Your cover's blown. The Rimfaxi will dive in 1 minute. You must act fast.
Enemy planes, halt all resupply operations. Enemy planes? We're still in the middle of our mission! Damn it! How did they smell us out?
I could have swore that I didn't pass 1,000 feet.
30 seconds to Rimfaxi dive!
Halt the resupply. Prepare for immediate dive. Hurry up! We gotta dive before the enemy does.
Target hit!
Damage status on enemy sub unknown.
Those bastards are diving! This is Submarine Squadron Command. Emergency reports from our ground forces in the front line. The enemy is undertaking a large-scale offensive. Attack the enemy forces with long-range missiles from the Rimfaxi. Urgent. Transmitting target coordinates.
This is Rimfaxi. We cannot comply. We are unable to launch missiles underwater due to battle damage.
What's the point of your existence if you don't fire now? They're penetrating our defense lines as we speak. Hurry up before they overrun our allies.
Emergency surface! Grab onto something! Once we break the surface, launch the missiles in unmanned drones!
The Rimfaxi's antenna has appeared above water. It's surfacing.
This is Lieutenant Colonel Mitchell, the advisor HQ. I'm getting you info in real time from our tracker satellite. Time your attacks to the Rimfaxi when it surfaces. Sink it before it deals any more damage to our ground forces with its missiles.
Rimfaxi, you're dealing lethal damage to the Ocean Army. Give me one more shot. Drive them back to the coastline.
Target hit!
Good thing there's no big bird shooting at us from the sky like before. Roger that. I guess we'll just have to get this over with.
The Rimfaxi is diving!
Come on! Surface! I'm sick of waiting for you.
Sink the Rimfaxi and those burst missiles will go away too.
Yeah. And if we remove the threat of that metal rain, the war could end early.
And then we can go on leave. It's perfect.
We're locked on. Teach them a lesson. We're gonna
The Rimfaxi has broken the surface. Commence attack!
all hands take your positions. Make your country proud. Don't disgrace this ship.
Missile warning!
They might think they snuck up on us, but they're
I thought this guy would be nicer than our base commander back home.
The top brass are all the same.
Ballast tanks damaged! Unable to submerge! Forget it! We'll just have to deal with them above the surface.
The Rimfaxi has stopped its dive! We've damaged it! The Rimfaxi's got a barrier of picket submarines around it! It's like the enemy's gathered all its submarines in one place. The Yuke's loop...
Rimfaxi launching burst missile! War Dog, it's headed your way! Climb! Zoom to about 5,000 feet!
I can't stand how HQ treats us like errand boys.
Damn it! Just sink already!
10 seconds to impact. 5, 4, 3, 2, bursting now!
What's the matter? I thought this was the world's best fleet. I know. I'm not gonna let them fly up there for long.
I guess mental toughness plays a big part in battles like these. It's all about guts, you know?
I'll take care of the threat from the escort subs, too.
If the Yukes lose that...
Rimfaxi launching burst missile!
The Rimfaxi's taken a fair amount of damage, too.
This is Colbeta 8. Flooding severe. Abandoning ship.
10 seconds to impact. 5, 4, 3, 2, bursting now!
Damn it! How can 4 planes change the tide of the war?
That was a close one.
Lower hull flood spreading! It's finished. We can't save this boat. They sunk the Rimfaxi? The Rimfaxi's firing missiles at close range!
Rimfaxi launching burst missile!
Let up for even a second, and we'll get showered by that metal rain. Attacking again.
10 seconds to impact. 5, 4, 3, 2, bursting now!
Look! The Rosgreave story was true! Geez, you guys still believe in that? That's just a tall tale. Well, how do you explain all this damage? I tell you, they're demons! You mean to say some demons from a fairy tale are killing us all? Don't be an idiot! If the demons saw the power of our fleet...
Rimfaxi launching burst missile!
Damn it! Friendlies are getting caught in the explosions!
Jeez, will you just stop with the missiles already?
Like that?
Rimfaxi, it appears you're up against Rosgreaves itself out there.
Looks like they were the real Rosgreaves, not us. Maybe someone's trying to tell us that our time is up.
The surprise attack on the Rimfaxi was a success, and the carrier has sunk to the bottom of the Rosgreave Straits. The threat from the northern sea has disappeared, and the Osean forces are on the offensive against Yuktobania.
And I got little to no XP.
Me? Heavens. The ace pilots who sunk the enemy submarines are right over there. And I'm the person you want to interview now?
No, it's not that. It's just that I heard you used to be a fighter pilot yourself.
I just fly freight planes for the maintenance crews now. The captain, Captain Bartlett that is, but it was time for an old man like me to quit trying to compete with the young guys. Talk about a lack of respect.
Where did you meet Captain Bartlett?
We were both shot down and we bailed out behind enemy lines from the last war. We got through the bullet-ridden battlefield and made it back to the Allied front line. I tell you, it was tough getting the Army to believe we were on their side.
Shot down? You two?
Hey, it was a long time ago. Everyone makes mistakes, right?
Oh, no, I didn't mean it that way. Even if you're not flying with those pilots, your age and experience provide a lot of support for all of them. I just wanted to tell you that. I've seen that you really listen to what they say, and you always have helpful suggestions for them.
Well, thank you.
I think they're all going to need you, now more than ever.
I'll do what I can.
These people, it's like they're walking on a tightrope that could snap at any second. They're going to reach their breaking point sooner or later.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you can see from the clear file on the very bottom, I put in 7 hours of flight time.
Yep.
Our ground offensive is continuing its fast-paced push into Yuktobanian soil. A POW internment camp was discovered during the offensive, and a team of Marines has attacked and captured the camp. The Marines have secured the camp's radio room, and a flight of helicopters is en route to retrieve the prisoners. Your mission is to provide close air support for this rescue and retrieval operation. The radio room could be retaken by the enemy at any moment. If it is, the enemy will report the attack and the rescue will end in failure. Find and shoot down all enemy aircraft in the local airspace and secure air superiority across the entire area.
I don't need an anti-ship plane. I keep wanting to say ship because I'm so used to playing stow.
Yeah.
These aren't boats. Okay, I'll go ahead and fly the F-14.
Please choose my plane.
And have everybody fly the F-15Cs.
Which plane am I going up in, Captain?
That is, if I can find the F-15C.
Captain, which plane should I use? We're launching with this formation, then?
Wardog, launch.
Boy, dog.
This is Archer. Captain, can you see the POW camp?
Nope.
Well, we should be able to see it soon.
You think the captain? I mean, Captain Bartlett, you think he's in there?
I bet he is. He's probably busy cussing out all the other POWs and taking charge right now. Right, Nagase? You're not still blaming yourself, are you?
No.
Fighters, I can hear the roar of your engines approaching. This is Sea Goblin. Man, I thought if I joined the Marines, I'd get to work on tropical beaches all the time. We've safely recovered the POWs. Guess our copter's not here yet.
You're gonna have to babysit him a little bit longer. I'm picking up enemy planes on my radar.
Roger. You're that squadron from Sand Island, right? I've heard of you guys. Can't wait to see you do your stuff.
Oh, like this?
Air patrols are really cramping our style.
You can't detect them unless you get close.
Yeah, we gotta find and shoot them all down, or else the helicopter won't be able to get close.
We gotta move fast, too, because the camp isn't gonna be secure for long. Sun's about to set. Let's knock off before it does.
unsettling not being able to tell what the situation is. You know, I can't shake the feeling that we're being watched. Hey, did you see a figure behind that window over there?
Check your equipment again while you can. You don't think they found us out and surrounded us already, do you?
I heard some you bastards talking to each other, I swear. We can figure out the number of remaining enemy planes from our pre-flight data. Let's see. There are 5 planes left.
Hurry up with the retrieval. The Ukes aren't that stupid.
I had to waste two of the SAMs with a tornado.
Must be slacking off again. It's too far from here. Get someone nearby to check it out. Where's your report? Hey, are you napping again?
I'll distract the enemy.
Enemy patrol plane. I'll shoot it down. Building a POW camp in a place like this is an atrocity in itself.
Damn it! They got the captain's plane! This is Sea Goblin. Combat has broken out in the camp. You've got control of the airspace now, right?
May as well lie.
Okay, we're going to get everyone out of here.
Yes.
One enemy plane left.
Are the POWs we hit in the machine room all right? We can't hold out here for long.
Barricade the door with those desks. Don't let them enter the radio room.
Oh no, the enemy spotted us. They're heading for the radio room.
All right, I've mopped up the enemies in the area. You can call in the taxi now.
Roger. We're all set. Bring the helicopter into our position.
This is Sea Goblin. Our ride's here. The ground's still crawling with weapons installations, though, so they can't land. Could you clear them out for us?
I'll think
I've got a special delivery of bullets here. Where do you want me to drop them off? Got it. Don't you go anywhere.
How is a chopper moving faster than me?
I see the POW camp.
I don't know.
The man I must...
I don't know
The people
either.
we must help are in there. We have to suppress the anti-aircraft fire first. If we can just get through this.
AA guns, confirmed destroyed. I'll support the rescue effort. Get those POWs out of there, fast!
AA guns confirmed destroyed.
Do we have any flash grenades left? Use them all up! The helicopter's coming closer. We gotta do something about that thing.
I couldn't get a lock on.
You see anything in the air? Yeah! Allied planes and helicopters are flying above us.
Everything going all right down below?
I think we're almost there. Don't give up.
Corporal, contain the enemy for us over there. Hide the pilots behind that wall. Don't let them retrieve the POWs. You have permission to fire. We have terrain advantage. Cut off their escape route.
AA guns, confirmed destroyed.
Okay, thanks for taking out the trash. We're taking the POWs outside. Can you see their smiling faces? Puck here. We're coming to pick you up, so be ready.
We'll be landing at the designated site. Hurry up and get over here.
The POWs are heading for the helicopter. We're almost done with the rescue operations. Those people. I wish I could see their faces from up here.
Nagase's actually going down to look.
All right, everyone's in the helicopter. Checking to make sure we got all of them.
Sea Goblin, is Captain Bartlett there? Check for a Captain Bartlett.
No, nobody named Bartlett here. Hey, what about you? Nope, not here. None of the other POWs ever heard of him either.
But that can't... Look, just check for me one more time.
Damn it, Nagase!
After all the Captain said to me,
As one maneuverable rocket. I mean, granted, it's a SAM, but at the same time, they're not that maneuverable.
I'm fine. My plane's trashed, but those are always replaceable.
Sea Goblin to gunship. We're taking our guests home now. Can you guys rescue her?
Roger. Weather conditions are getting worse. We'd better step on it. Landing point confirmed. Roger. Heading in to pick her up.
The gunship crashed!
Damn it! The storm's too strong. We can't just leave her behind.
Look, I hate it too, but we have to wait for conditions to get better before we can do anything.
Damn it! Is there nothing we can do?
Nope.
Please, be patient. All we can do now is wait.
Damn it!
You said it.
I mean, granted, you kind of have to throw the rule book out the window in times of war, but at the same time, you gotta remember Avionics 101.
The POW rescue operation was a success, and both the Marines and our friends held in the camp were safely recovered.
And I'll admit,
As for Captain K.
I never
Nagase,
took a
who was
course.
attacked and bailed out during the operation, Colonel Perot will
even
issue
I know you
orders on
don't
her behalf.
go in the air
Central
unless
Command will be
the weather's
replacing
clear.
Captain Nagase's plane that was lost in the crash.
None of the rescued POWs saw Bartlett in the internment camp. Now where could he be, I wonder? Upon more favorable weather conditions, we will carry out a rescue operation for Captain Nagase. That's right. You've all been promoted yet again. You guys are burning through the ranks, you know that? You can thank High Command for it.
Now, Kiri, I've got a question for you.
Shoot.
That can't possibly happen, can it? Just burning through the ranks like that.
Theoretically, no.
Not even in a time of war, I wager.
You need a lot of things to go your way.
And we're not just talking racking up kills.
Yeah.
I had a feeling. Going back to Star Trek Online for a moment, that was one of the huge
She left
complaints.
her book in the crew room. A Blue Dove for the Princess. That was the title of the book she left behind. A favorite book from her childhood. The pages have torn off over the years, and she had been writing down the words that were on those pages, trying to remember every sentence and every verse.
I love this book so much. but I only have faint memories of what was inside. I feel like I've grown so far away from everything since then.
I remember how she looked when she told me that. I couldn't help wondering, did she choose to crash on purpose, rather than having to take part in the invasion of another country?
It is kind of messed up.
Bring back Captain Nagase. Don't make us have to give her a posthumous 2-rank promotion.
We've succeeded in tracking down Captain K. Nagase's distress beacon. We will now launch a combat search and rescue operation for the captain.
Okay, a
Captain
posthumous
Nagase is
2-rank
currently on the
promotion
run
from
an
captain.
enemy patrol.
What would that
Although
be?
she's
Like
being
a
pursued,
fleet
her distress
admiral or
beacon
something?
is still broadcasting.
In what
is
service?
extremely weak, so
Air
we cannot
Force.
confirm her location unless we get closer to the source of the signal. Follow the signal to find
would
Captain
be-
Nagase's concealed location as
second.
quickly as possible. Once you find her, report her location to the Sea Goblin helicopter squadron.
What was it?
The helicopter search and rescue
Captain?
team is expected to face
yeah,
stiff
Nagase's
opposition
a
from enemy
captain.
air and ground
Alright,
forces.
so that'd be
After the helicopter
Lieutenant
team picks
Colonel.
up Captain Nagase, provide air support for them as they airlift her out.
So she would be a lieutenant colonel. Okay.
Yep.
Need to double check and make sure I can't buy anything additional. It looks like I can't buy anything additional, so I'll go ahead and start this mission in the F-14.
Which plane am I going up in, Captain?
Meanwhile, Chopper will be flying the F-15,
Captain, which plane should I use?
as well as Archer.
So, we're going up in this formation? War Dog, launch.
And I have a feeling that neither of them are going to get any kills, which will mean no XP for that jet.
This emergency locator beacon is our connection to Nagase. Let's hurry up and find her. Hang in there, Nagase! Pay attention to the changes in the signal's pitch and tempo.
Right. I'll try to get a bearing that has a better response.
Kid, do you understand how to view the distress signal sensor on your HUD? Okay, just checking. Make sure you don't miss Nagase's signal.
I'm okay. I can keep going.
Hey, Blaze! Did you see someone below us just now? I thought I saw someone moving. Maybe it was just my imagination.
Enemy planes above. You see them?
Protect Blaze. I'm the one being protected.
Chopper to Kid, I'm gonna split off and search, okay? Roger, I'm splitting off.
I found footprints this way.
The captain shot down the enemy.
I just saw a plane flash by above me. Was that one on our side? A helicopter at low altitude. I can see the fin flash. That's the enemy, all right.
Sea Goblin to War Dog Leader. I'm honing in on your signal.
The signal's changing. Looks like you're gradually...
That's a jammer crab. It's being jammed.
11 o'clock! Something just moved in the forest!
The signal's getting stronger. Nagase's around here somewhere.
I've heard that engine sound before. Blaze, is that you?
response up and increasing. She's right around here.
Blaze.
Firing!
This is Sea Goblin. War Dog, have you found her? Roger. Good job. You have good eyes. We'll move in for the rescue. While we're on our way, eliminate those enemy fighters for us. We need to make sure this place is safe.
Did you find Captain Nagase?
This is Sea Goblin. We're moving to the scene as fast as we can.
Let me know when you've confirmed Captain Nagase's position. Don't worry. We'll take your princess back to base safely.
You do that, and I'll worship you guys. Whoa! Whoa! There's still enemies on the ground! Hurry up, guys! What are you gonna do if the enemy catches her?
Calm down. We're going as fast as we can.
Enemy fighters! They're coming this way! I'll shoot down every single plane that comes near the helicopter.
Don't take any chances. You'll get shot down yourselves.
We'll just have to count on you if that happens. Hey, so this Captain Nagase, is she a looker?
Why don't you rescue her and see for yourself?
If she's hot, I'm asking her out.
Well then, you can find out how tough her guard is, too. Come on, just hurry up, will you? Please? Hold on, I got your back.
6 miles. Enemy force advancing. Can you take them out for us?
Roger that. You take care of the rescue.
That's definitely her. I can see her flight suit from here. Chopper, box 2. Is the rescue team back yet? Did they pick her up?
4 miles. We're gonna have to rely on you on the ground. Pull through for us, okay?
Roger that. We owe you one from yesterday. These guys are too good. We can't win if we go head-on.
Kobold, you deal with the pursuing units. I'll go save the princess.
Amazing as always, Captain.
Mamma mia! We must save the princess!
I think the enemy helicopter spotted the pilot.
Box 2, box 2.
Don't take them on by yourself. Climb and fight from above.
2 miles.
He's at your 6 o'clock. Break right. Shake him off. Hurry!
The captain shot down a bandit. The captain's almost out of special weapons ammunition.
Sea Goblin arriving at designated point momentarily.
Nice kill, Captain.
Ow.
Captain taking fire. Are you all right?
Thank goodness I didn't have to answer that.
The captain shot down a bandit.
Ah! That was a bit of a close call.
All right, prepare to drop. Don't make her wait any longer. Everyone ready? Go! Go! Go!
Rescue team dropping from helicopter. I was really worried.
I've actually had incidents
Got a
on
towel? I need to wipe all this
the
sweat
stream
off my
from
brow.
playing the arcade mode where I've actually crashed into jets after I shot them down.
Yeah, that's
Say,
kind of annoying.
Blaze, I think that song would be perfect for a time like this, you know? Yeah, face of the coin. I love that song.
So for those that were here the other day when we did the whole coin flipping thing, it's actually Chopper that decides which way that coin is going to face when the base commander flips the coin. Because when you say no, he then talks about a song
Search
called
and
Back of
Rescue
the
Captain
Coin.
Nagase was a success. We're having a physician check on her condition right now.
Alright, so we've leveled up the F-14.
rescue team found her, she was holding captive a group of soldiers who were sent in to capture her. Behind her was the helicopter crew that crashed while trying to rescue her. She had saved them, treated their wounds, and hid them in a safe place. I needed to rethink my image of her after this, after seeing her amazing toughness and tenacity. She even managed to obtain a little information from the soldiers she captured. It seems the people of Yuktobania were also beginning to have doubts about their leaders in the current war. And word of Nagase's squadron was getting around, as the force that sunk 2 of their most powerful submarines. The Yuk Army's soldiers had nicknamed them the Demons of Raz Gries. She was obviously very proud of that when she told me about it later. Perhaps her pride was for Captain Bartlett, the man who had trained them, or maybe it was for her current captain. However, nobody in the upper echelons of her own army was proud of them. Bartlett was still missing, and that made his old trainees the subject of suspicion and criticism.
Oh, the plot thickens. And we're about to go into our second act.
Yep.
What? What do you mean it's our turn to choose?
Apparently having the glitchy video is the only way to actually see the coin. Otherwise it just appears like a little outline.
Our ground forces will engage in a decisive battle with the enemy's main force in the Jalachi Desert. If our army wins this showdown of military might, we'll be just a hair away from total victory. We've still got some work for you too, so don't slack off now.
This mission will be referred to as Operation Desert Arrow. The operation will be spread across the entire northern part of the Jalachi Desert. Its final target is at 2 separate strategic positions: the field HQ in the northern region of the mission area, and the airfield in the western region. A bomber squadron will attack the field headquarters, while the Army 1st Tank Battalion will advance toward the airstrip. Your mission this time is to protect both units from defending enemy forces. This operation is spread out across the entirety of a wide command area. You'll be up against a large number of enemy forces, so choose your opponents carefully. Don't try to take on all of them. Destroying a certain number of enemy forces within your allotted time on station will be considered successful completion of the mission. Operation Desert Arrow commences today at 10:50 hours.
So we have a mission that requires a crap ton of ammo.
Yup.
Yep.
At least it's not that mission where you have to synchronize the timing of the destruction of the radar dishes.
4 horsemen, yeah.
Pain in the ass.
A huge pain in the ass. Okay, I'm gonna guess the F-14A is ready to pop, so I'm just gonna assign like 1 or 2 of my squad mates to that, while I begin working on the F-15C.
Captain, please choose my plane.
Which plane am I going up in, Captain?
I guess I could have Chopper fly the F-16C.
Captain, which plane should I use?
Well, I sure hope we don't run into any fighters. Are you sure we're launching in this formation?
I think we'll be fine, Chopper.
War Dog, launch.
Man, this is ridiculous. I can't believe they chose our next mission with a damn coin again.
This is Thunderhead. Captain Davenport, how many times do I have to tell you to cut the chatter?
Thunderhead, this is Roz Grease 3. Roger that.
What did you just say?
Our target is the enemy's field HQ. Initiating bomb run. Viking 1
I should
support
mention
fighters.
there's an awful lot of
Requesting
Pac-Man
escort to
in the farmlands below.
Begin your advance. Target enemy airfield. Attention Air Force. Requesting close air support for our unit.
I feel like a waiter taking orders in a packed restaurant.
Yeah, someone please put some roller skates on my feet.
We'll be all right. We got the Sand Island Squadron above us.
Sand Island Squadron? You're the heroes of the Rosgary Straits? The Sand Island Squadron is here. This operation is going to succeed. This is Hawk 1. Presently under attack from enemy fighters, attackers, bombers, helicopters. They're throwing everything at us. Do something!
This is Viking 1. Enemy fighters closing in. We can't take them on by ourselves. Somebody get rid of them for us.
Our bombers are taking fire. Where are the escorts?
Missile hit!
I can see the ground pretty well. And the bandits, too.
They shot down a bandit. Calling the approaching Allied planes. We can't protect the bombers completely. Please lend us your aid. Thanks. The enemy interceptors are more persistent than we expected.
Which squadron's escorting us today?
It's the one that sunk two of those giant subs. Guess we can rely on them.
Numerous enemy bombers approaching HQ.
We have to keep these bombers protected. This is Viking 1. Looks like the enemy fighters are gone. Returning to previous flight path. Captain, did I ever tell you about my brother? I look up to him a lot. He was part of the reason why I chose this job.
Destroy as many vehicles as you can. We've got to reduce their firepower.
Moscon 2 through 7 descend to low altitude to attack and destroy the enemy. We gotta open up a path for the ground forces. We've got a full belly here. We're counting on your cover.
All right. The enemy's battle formation is falling apart.
The enemy's coming! A whole pack of them!
Fox 2!
Watch out for SAMs and AA guns down below.
Visual confirmation on the bombers. They've got fighter escorts too. Don't worry about the airspace above. Just concentrate on the attack. What are you gonna do if our HQ gets wiped out? This is Hawk 1. Looks like the air attack's finally over. I think we can take it from here. I better thank those Air Force pilots later. Damn it! The sand's getting in my goggles. I can't see a thing. Approaching gun range.
Fox 2.
You know, one would think that in the desert they prepare more adequately.
Keep your current altitude and speed. Do not break formation.
I mean, it's just a thought.
This is Zenit 5. Zenit 1 was shot down by the enemy. Enemy approaching at high speed.
One would think.
Enemy tank battalion advancing. We're rolling in hot to attack them now. Don't take them on alone. You'll be throwing away your life. Enemy plane sighted. Watch out.
This is Bishop. All aircraft flying support in our area. Clear out the enemy jets above us. They've got us pinned down here.
Roger, Bishop. War Dog, engage the enemy aircraft if you see an opportunity.
Hey, are those the guys? Engaging in anti-air combat. Yeah, no doubt about it. The Rosgrees. I can hear bullets hitting my plane.
This is ground force. Do something about those enemy aircraft
cremation. Look at all that ground fire. I've never seen anything like this before. Halo 9, deflect.
We must eliminate the threat or this operation will fail!
Let the 4 wings of Sand Island handle this one.
You think the Razgrees are really those Sand Island pilots?
Enemy planes targeting this area. Is it them?
I'm sure glad the demons of Razgrees are on our side.
The enemy's coming in with another attack run!
I've got sand coming into my mask. Report all battle damage immediately. We have a sit rep from advancing Allied forces. Listen up, War Dog.
This is Viking 1. Everything on schedule so far.
This is Hawk 1. Currently under light enemy attack. No hindrance to our advance. You got that? Keep up the close air support. Over.
Damn! Foscode 4 didn't last a minute against them. Don't tell me those Company D idiots ran on ahead again.
Not bad. Aren't you glad I taught you everything you know?
Well, maybe half of everything.
Wait, so what about the other half? Hey!
The desert heat is robbing the ground forces of their mobility.
Will we complete the mission in time at this pace? I hope you're right. If we get bogged down, it'll affect our allies' advance.
Our target's still up ahead. Don't give up here. Bombers! Bombers incoming! We got no place for the tanks to hide! Damn it! They told me the enemy wasn't gonna deploy any planes!
Sounds like you guys were misinformed too. Just sit tight and pray for some air support.
Are these guys all that's left? Bad news, Foscode 1. Those guys are the Razgrees.
Our air-based defenses are weak. They press on us, we don't stand a chance.
That was a close one, huh?
Do
It's a
whatever it takes
ribbon.
to maintain your current course.
Die.
Is that right, Grin? He's in the Sand Island Squadron?
Yep, I'm real proud of him. Take care of yourself, Hans.
If they break through here, they'll reach our HQ in no time.
This is Viking 6. Fire in the cabin! This is Thunderhead. Operation proceeding smoothly. Victory is just a matter of time now. Continue sweeping up the remaining enemy forces. I hate to be thinking like this, but I can't help feeling like we're being used again.
Stay focused, though. We may not have the air support we had before.
Say, kid, do you recognize those voices from below?
That army unit. They were in Operation Footprint, too. I'm glad they made it this far.
This is rough! Now I remember why I hate defensive fighting.
This battle's too spread out.
Fox 2! Don't be fixated on the ground. We have enemies in the air, too.
Oh no! They're penetrating our air defense zone! The guys in the air keep saying that the Razgrees are up there. You're kidding. Really?
I didn't hear anything about having to deal with these monsters!
I never thought we'd be flying this far out. We gotta take out more of their air defenses, or we're just gonna keep taking damage.
Oh, that's good. They're using their altitude difference to fence them in. Too bad they're not on our side.
We can't detour. This is the only route to enemy command HQ.
Even if we dropped our bombs, they'd probably get shot down in midair. The Demons of Razgrees, huh? Hey, we could come up with a nickname like that.
Planes left and right.
Nah, I'd hate to end up with a name we can't live up to.
If they attack all at once, we won't be able to cover them. The area's too wide. We'll be spreading ourselves too thin.
Mechanical parts discovered in destroyed enemy facility. We'll have the ground forces retrieve them later.
Yay! I'm a little bit closer to unlocking the Falcon.
The bombers are gonna fly over our heads. Don't let any enemy planes slip past this line. You idiot! Is the heat melting your brain? Come on, crash! Crash and burn! What happened to our SAMs? I haven't heard a peep from them. They were destroyed already! Those bastards!
Sir, we can't pick favorites. Everyone down there needs our help.
Fine, then everyone down there's your brother.
Our allies are taking significant damage. We must hurry.
Captain Nagase, don't overdo it.
Thanks. I'm all right now. Grim, watch my back.
Got it. I'm covering you.
Shack on the target. We have a sit rep from advancing Allied forces. Listen up, War Dog.
This is Viking 1. We managed to get through the enemy fire.
This is Hawk 1. We're taking some hits, but we're still good to go. You got that? Continue support. Over.
I see it. Tally ho on the enemy field HQ. Okay, on final for bomb attack. Everybody ready?
Target hit!
Drop everything you brought with you.
Get a hold of yourself. We have the
Pickle!
advantage here.
Pickle!
We won't get another chance at this. Stay cool and make it count. They're firing from the ground.
You guys are amazing.
You got us through all that flak.
This is Viking 4. Bombs away. Aim carefully. Dropping right on top of the enemy captain.
Captain, the deployments in each position appear to be very heavy. Should we concentrate our firepower? This is Archer. Roger that. Adjusting position.
I see the airfield. Prepare to fire. Let's give them a taste of their own medicine. Get as many planes in the air as you can while they can still take off. The enemy's on the runway. Our planes won't be able to return to base.
Direct hit on enemy HQ. Repeat, confirm bullseye on enemy HQ. Look at all this anti-aircraft fire.
We have a line of sight with the enemy vehicles.
I'll hit the anti-aircraft vehicles. Captain, you hit the tanks.
You want to switch? That's fine with me, too. You're the same as always, huh, Nagase? Nothing ever gets you down.
Yeah, thanks.
If they can set foot on the enemy's home base, then it's as good as ours.
Locked on.
How are things going down there?
Approaching gun range.
Incoming shells are starting to blanket the area. We can't compete with the weapons here. We should just surrender. Nice kill. The tanks have made their way out onto the runway.
It's hopeless. There's nothing we can do. Warning! You're being spiked by enemy radar!
Here's the last one. Make it pretty.
Well, did we hit it?
Warning! You're being spiked by enemy radar!
Target hit.
This is Viking 1. Bombing run on field HQ complete.
All right. No point in sticking around. Let's go home.
Our vehicle's stuck. We can't move.
Roger. Mission complete. Returning to base.
Escort fighters, thanks for all your support.
I'm telling you, Kit could single-handedly turn the tide of this war. It's almost scary.
Approaching gun range.
I feel like I'm in a sauna. I've probably lost a good gallon of sweat by now.
Warning! The enemy's tracking you on radar. Approaching gun range. Warning! The enemy's tracking you on radar.
Blaze, maintain altitude. Keep that plane up. Blaze!
Ooh.
Man, this is ridiculous. I can't believe they chose our next mission with a damn coin again.
This is Thunderhead. Captain Davenport, how many times do I have to tell you to cut the chatter?
Thunderhead, this is Rosgrease 3. Roger that.
What did you just say? Hawk Division, begin your advance. Target enemy airfield. Attention Air Force, requesting close air support for our unit.
Our target is the enemy's field HQ. Initiating bomb run.
Viking 1 to support fighters, requesting escort to target. I feel like a waiter taking orders in a packed restaurant.
Yeah, someone please put some roller skates on my feet.
We'll be all right. We got the Sand Island Squadron above us.
Sand Island Squadron? You're the heroes of the Rosgrease Straits?
Nah.
You don't have to be humble. We've heard about you. This is Hawk 1. Presently under attack from enemy fighters, attackers, bombers, helicopters. They're throwing everything at us. Do something!
This is Viking 1. Enemy fighters closing in. We can't take them on by ourselves. Somebody get rid of them for us.
Our bombers are taking fire. Where are the escorts? We gotta open up a path for the ground forces.
We have to keep these bombers protected.
Fox 2!
Warning, the enemy's locked onto you.
The enemy's coming. A whole pack of them. Keep your current altitude and speed. Do not break formation.
Destroy as many vehicles as you can. We've got to reduce their firepower.
Which squadron's escorting us today? It's the one that sunk 2 of those giant subs. Guess we can rely on them.
Calling the approaching Allied planes. We can't protect the bombers completely. Please lend us your aid. Thanks. The enemy interceptors are more persistent than we expected.
Numerous enemy bombers approaching HQ.
Fox 2!
Fighter squadron, shoot them all down! Don't let them get through!
Report all battle damage immediately.
Enemy tank battalion advancing. We're rolling in hot to attack them now.
This is Viking 1. Looks like the enemy fighters are gone. Returning to previous flight path. Captain, did I ever tell you about my brother? I have an older brother. If he's okay, he should be participating in this operation.
Don't worry about the airspace above. Just to concentrate on the attack. What are you gonna do if our HQ gets wiped out? Target hit! Visual confirmation on the bombers. They've got fighter escorts too.
Moscon 2 through 7 descend to low altitude to attack and destroy the enemy.
Escort squadron, we need some help here quick!
Don't take them on alone. You'll be throwing away your life. Damn it! The sand's getting in my goggles. I can't see a thing.
It's one down!
We've got a full belly here. We're counting on your cover.
Enemy approaching at high speed.
All right. The enemy's battle formation is falling apart. I can see the ground pretty well. And the bandits, too. I can hear bullets hitting my plane.
Look at all that ground fire. I've never seen anything like this before.
They're coming from all sides. We're gonna get shot down before we reach our target. Sure is a tough road to the enemy HQ. Watch out for SAMs and AA guns down below. Flying through all this fire is messing with my nerves.
This is Hawk 1. Looks like the air attack's finally over. I think we can take it from here. I better thank those Air Force pilots later.
Watch your engine and fuel gauges carefully.
I've got sand coming into my mask.
The enemy's coming in with another attack run!
Engaging anti-air guys!
Yeah, no doubt about it. The Rosgrease.
If a missile hits you, you're in for a grand cremation. Enemy plane sighted. Watch out.
Moscon 8! Missile! Turn!
Shack on the target.
Alright, Chopper, I softened him up. Finish him off. There you go.
Or this operation will fail. Let the 4 wings of Sand Island handle this one.
You think the Rosgrees are really those Sand Island pilots? Enemy planes targeting this area. Is it him?
I'm sure glad the demons of Rosgrees are on our side. lost several planes.
This is your one. We've been ground to a halt by the enemy. Our ground forces are in trouble. You must provide them better close air support. Don't let up. Missile hit!
Our air-based defenses are weak. If they press on us, we don't stand a chance.
This is Bishop. All aircraft flying support in our area. Clear out the enemy jets above us. They've got us pinned down here.
Roger, Bishop. War Dog, engage the enemy aircraft if you see an opportunity.
Chopper, we got a support request from another front.
All right, max thrust. Let's move.
The desert heat is robbing the ground forces of their mobility.
Will we complete the mission in time at this pace? I hope you're right. If we get bogged down, it'll affect our allies' advance.
Our target's still up ahead. Don't give up here. This is ground force. Do something about those enemy aircraft overhead. Roger, please hurry. We're completely cut off.
Are these guys all that's left?
Bad news, Vasco. Fighters and those guys are the Rosgrees.
Our allies are taking significant damage. We must hurry.
Captain Nagase, don't overdo it.
Thanks. I'm all right now.
My little brother's flying up there.
Ow.
Is that right, Grim? He's in the Sand Island Squadron?
Yep, I'm real proud of him. Take care of yourself, Hans. If they break through here, they'll reach our HQ in no time.
This battle's too spread out. Grim, watch my back.
Got it. I'm covering you. I never thought we'd be flying this far out.
Don't tell me those Company D idiots ran on ahead again. Stay focused, though. We may not have the air support we had before.
Say, kid, do you recognize those voices from below?
That army unit. They were in Operation Footprint, too. I'm glad they made it this far.
Bombers! Bombers incoming! We got no place for the tanks to hide! Damn it! They told me the enemy wasn't gonna deploy any planes!
Sounds like you guys were misinformed, too. Just sit tight and pray for some air support.
The guys in the air keep saying that the Rosgrees are up there. You're kidding. Really?
This is Thunderhead. Operation proceeding smoothly. Victory is just a matter of time now. Continue sweeping up the remaining enemy forces.
Aha! Here come your angels now.
Don't be fixated on the ground. We have enemies in the air, too.
I hate to be thinking like this, but I can't help feeling like we're being used again.
Oh no! They're penetrating our air defense zone!
If they attack all at once, we won't be able to cover them.
The Demons of Rosgrees, huh? Hey, we could come up with a nickname like that.
Wow!
Man, I'd hate to end up with a name we can't live up to.
This is rough! Now I remember why I hate defensive fighting.
Mechanical parts discovered in destroyed enemy facility. We'll have the ground forces retrieve them later.
Fox 2! Fox 2!
And save state.
Blaze, Fox 2.
Oh, that's good. They're using their altitude difference to fence them in. Too bad they're not on our side.
Damn! Foscon 4 didn't last a minute against them.
Not bad. Aren't you glad I taught you everything you know?
Well, maybe half of everything.
Wait, so what about the other half? Hey!
Target hit.
Blaze, Fox 2.
Don't let any enemy planes slip past this line.
Can you find your brother's position on the battlefield, Grim?
Sir, we can't pick favorites. Everyone down there needs our help.
Fine. Then everyone down there's your brother.
The area's too wide. We'll be spreading ourselves too thin.
Idiot! Is the heat melting your brain? Come on, crash! Crash and burn! This is unthinkable! How could this be happening?
I'm coming.
We have a sit rep from advancing Allied forces. Listen up, War Dog.
This is Viking 1. We managed to get through the enemy fire.
taking some hits, but we're still good to go. You got that? Continue support. Over.
I see it. Tally ho on the enemy field HQ. Okay, on final for bomb attack. Everybody ready?
We won't get another chance at this. Stay cool and make it count. They're firing from the ground.
You guys are amazing. You got us through all that flak.
Here's the last one. Make it pretty.
Well, did we hit it? This is Viking 4. Bombs away. Aim carefully. Drop it right on top of the enemy captain.
Captain, the deployments in each position appear to be very heavy. Should we concentrate our firepower? This is Archer. Roger that. Adjusting position. I see the airfield.
Prepare to fire. Let's give them a taste of their own medicine.
Look at all this anti-aircraft fire.
Fox 2, Fox 2.
Direct hit on enemy HQ. Repeat, confirm bullseye on enemy HQ.
How are things going down there?
Drop everything you've brought with you. Pickle! Pickle!
I hate pickles.
You're the same as always, huh, Nagase? Nothing ever gets you down.
Yeah, thanks.
If they can set foot on the enemy's home base, then it's as good as ours.
The tanks have made their way out onto the runway.
It's hopeless. There's nothing we can do.
Fox 2! Chopper, Fox 2!
We have a line of sight with the enemy vehicles.
Fox 2! Missile hit! Break, missile! Splash 1 bomber!
Okay, I know that military aircraft are capable. Well, aircraft, airliners or planes, cargo jets. I know they're very good at what's called combat landings. But come on, B-52s should not be able to do that kind of that kind of maneuvering.
That's fine with me too.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I was saying maneuver.
Blaze shut down abandoned.
This is Viking 1. Bombing run on field HQ complete.
I mean, not even the Sky King could pull that off.
All right. No point in sticking around. Let's go home.
Our vehicle's stuck. We can't move.
Roger. Mission complete. Returning to base. Escort fighters, thanks for all your support. I'm telling you, Kick can single-handedly turn the tide of this war. It's almost scary.
Incoming shells are starting to blanket the area.
Yeah, it's almost like I'm Air Force Jesus or something.
We should just surrender.
I feel like I'm in a sauna. I've probably lost a good gallon of sweat by now.
Missile hit.
Fox 2.
Locked on. Blaze, Fox 2.
As long as they're here, we can fight with peace of mind.
As opposed to before, to where you couldn't fight with peace of mind.
Chopper, are you alright?
I guess I'm more delicate than I thought. I was fading out for a while there, but I'm still good.
Missile hit. Enemy facility destroyed.
This is Thunderhead. Enemy AWACS detected. Destroy it and maintain our air superiority over the battlefield. Locked on.
air power and secure air superiority over the area. We need all your cooperation to refuel everyone safely. This airspace is dominated by enemy forces. Be careful.
Here it comes. That's the boss, right?
Attack the enemy AWACS and refueling aircraft first.
Okay, let's go.
The enemy has a large aerial force. Our intelligence was wrong again.
Locked on. Approaching gun range.
There's only a few enemy planes. Why are the guys on the ground so upset?
We have to shoot that down if we want air superiority.
And it down.
Provide cover for our retreating ground forces. That is all. Don't let up just because we have an AWACS on our side.
We'll stay here and continue resupply operations.
Shot down. We're tracking them over here too. 4 planes.
It's not a very tough plane, but it can be a real pain if it's not on your side.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Zenith Squadron, roger. Awaiting your orders. I'll be sending out orders. Don't worry and focus on the fight.
Fox 2! Splash 1! Splash 1! Just a few missiles left in reserve.
Zenith 2, turn away and let him flow past. We'll bracket them and run them down. Are you ready?
Multiple enemy planes approaching.
Hey, don't leave us alone and vulnerable.
Crash and burn?
This is Thunderhead. Enemy AWACS detected. Destroy it and maintain our air superiority over the battlefield.
Eliminate the enemy air power and secure air superiority over the area. We need all your cooperation.
Yeah, screw it. I'm just gonna go straight for the AWACS.
This airspace is dominated by enemy forces. Be careful.
Here it comes. That's the boss, right?
Attack the enemy AWACS and refueling aircraft first.
Okay, let's go.
Zenith 11! They're right on my tail and closing! Help me! I'm not in a position to support you. You're on your own.
I'm flying right in the middle of an enemy formation. Captain, please respond.
This is Thunderhead. Enemy AWACS detected. Destroy it and maintain our air superiority over the battlefield.
Eliminate the enemy air power and secure air superiority over the area. We need all your cooperation to refuel everyone safely. This airspace is dominated by enemy forces. Be careful.
Here it comes. That's the boss, right?
Attack the enemy AWACS and refueling aircraft first.
Okay, let's go.
Warning! Enemy formation overhead!
Multiple enemy planes approaching.
It's not a very tough plane, but it can be a real pain if it's not on your side.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Warning! The enemy is moving unpredictably. We can't monitor them. We're done for! There's no way we can win!
Man, Jet's skills are well beyond my reach already.
Ally contacts are disappearing one after another. Help! I can't go up against these demons! My engine's been hit. Don't chicken out. This battle hasn't been decided yet.
I'll get the one with the dish on his back.
Don't let up just because we have an AWACS on our side.
They sure know how to deploy their escorts, I wish they were on our side. Fox 2! Fox 2! There's more than one of them! Watch your tail!
Zenith Squadron, roger. Awaiting your orders.
Missile evaded!
Hey, don't leave us alone and vulnerable. There's only a few enemy planes. Why are the guys on the ground so upset?
Enemy AWAC shot down.
Getting
The
kind of
enemy's
late.
air forces are falling
Kinda getting
apart.
tired.
All right, mission complete. Return to base.
Kiri, it's been a pleasure, man.
Yep. Have fun and take down all those B-52 enemies.
Taking down all the B-52s, even that weird go-go dancer.
Yep. Especially that one.
Because after all, we gotta get off on all that static coming from Channel Z.
Blaze, begin landing.
Kiri, have a good night, man.
Cleared to land.
Good night.
Okay, why the hell did I just turn on the light? I mean, all I'm doing is landing in the broad daylight. That doesn't need lights.
3 miles to touchdown. 2 miles to touchdown. You're on the money. You're coming in too fast. Slow down. Perfect, Blaze. Stand
Wow.
by and prepare for your next sortie.
Wow, perfect landing. I haven't gotten one of those during this entire run.
Operation Desert Arrow was a success. Yuktabania's field headquarters and the airfield both fell to our forces. The Osean army is advancing quickly on all fronts, and enemy forces in the northern part of the Jalachi Desert are on the verge of being annihilated. The ground forces, fresh from securing the Jalachi area of operations, have set off for Kruik Fortress in their quest to liberate Zinigrad.
Our ground forces have scored a major victory. If we can destroy the fortress standing in our path, we'll open a road to the capital of Yuktabania. Then we'll storm the heart of the enemy.
So the desert campaign was a success, and we'll soon be taking on a major roadblock on the way to victory. Soon we will liberate the not Russians from their military might. But first, let's go home.
We're holding a peace ceremony at a stadium in November City. Our vice president will be giving a speech to rally the citizens. Now, you've been asked to do a flyby above the ceremony. Don't screw this up! You should consider this an honor, and do your part to boost citizen morale. This is the vice president we're dealing with here, so consider this a guard detail as well, and be prepared for anything out there.
Your mission this time takes place above November International Stadium, a gigantic 70,000-seat arena located in the center of the city of November, on the southern coastline of Osea. Vice President Appleruth is giving a speech there, and you will be conducting a flyby above the stadium as part of the production. You can return to base at 17:30 hours, the time the speech is scheduled to end. After the flyby, remain in formation and conduct a combat air patrol in and around the stadium until that time. This is a ceremonial flight, but you will be fully armed in case of an emergency. Don't forget to patrol the airspace surrounding the stadium, too.
Gosh. I remember a long time ago when I played this on an actual PS2. My mother happened to be in the room, and she was hearing the briefing, and she kind of curled her lip up at the name November City. Because at first, she thought that this was supposed to be like the real world. I didn't know. I didn't exactly have a. I didn't exactly know what was going on here with this strange real world that Ace Combat is a part of. But had I known, I would have told her. But still, even then, I don't think she would have understood the concept. Yeah, that is pretty much a tall order. Listen into a shitty speech and then defend the stadium. Pretty much. Mostly just defend from the fallout of said shitty speech. I know that this is a heavy combat mission, or heavily combatic mission. So I'm a little concerned as to what aircraft to focus on this time around. I guess that.
Please choose my plane.
I guess I could work on the F-15C.
Which plane am I going up in, Captain?
Captain, which plane should I use? We're launching with this formation then?
War Dog, launch.
Sup, Frankenstein? We're about to do a ceremonial flight.
I'm proud to be able to fly like this.
This is a ceremonial flight. Watch your manners, kid.
Everyone, form up and don't stray apart from each other. Okay, Blaze? Great. Let's begin.
Which starts
It's
with
time. Begin your ceremonial flight.
going up. Then going down. Like anyone could actually see us doing this. And then go back up again. Whee! And then back down again. Whee!
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 So, Wheelgirl, you're about to see a pivotal part of this story.
We're keeping this formation pretty tight.
Yep, there actually is a story going on in this game. As we now do a flyby above the stadium.
Woo!
Whee! And then we do a 180 turn.
You're flying beautifully. Keep it up.
And then one more Passover, and then we're good.
Game over?
No.
Or this
Ceremonial flight is over now to provide guard detail.
Is this the start of a new game, or is this you're playing?
This is Ace Combat 5.
You just started the 5th one?
I started Ace Combat 5 a couple of days ago.
So this was the one you were playing several nights ago.
Yeah.
So you're nearing the end or something.
I don't want to spoil it.
Did you restart or something?
Great. Here comes the thunderous applause.
Now, chat room, should I actually spoil it and tell Wheelgirl what's going on, or should I let her figure it out on her own? I'll let you all decide.
I'm not asking you to spoil anything. I'm asking you, is this later in the game, or did you start over?
This is around the middle of the game.
So your capturing of the capital was not even towards the beginning.
That isn't exactly rock and roll, you know. Who cares? Hey, they want to get along with the enemy too, right? Man, this song's got soul.
This is Thunderhead. Approaching enemy
This sounds like either this should have been a starter mission or an ending mission, because this seems boring for something not. Wait, what?
The allies here?
Hey, what?
Yeah, somehow the enemy managed to get enemy fighters in here.
Huh? So we blew up the thing, but we're not. But that's nowhere near the end of the game, huh?
Hey, wait a minute. Bro, they're still singing.
Well, if you're talking about the last game, yeah, we blew up the big missile defense thing. That was Ace Combat 4.
Are you saying the enemy's invaded this far inland?
So this is the start of the fight, or did you start that yesterday behind my back?
How can they time this?
I started it back when you were falling asleep.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's alright. Just go back and watch if you want.
Evacuation manual we got a while ago? Yeah, that one.
Missile hit.
I mean, I started it almost immediately.
Forget it. Prepare to engage. I was sure I was going to get skewered by that missile.
The enemy's targeting a public rally. They're singing for solidarity with Yuktavania down there. Why now?
Our allied planes will deal with the unknown aircraft. Start escorting the crowd. We'll evacuate the vice president through the boiler room on the eastern side.
Wait, now that question. What's going to be more fucked up than a giant weapon that can destroy asteroids being controlled by crazy people?
Well, let me try and sum this up as best as I can. On a whole different continent, there's two other nations. One that's totally not America, and one that's totally not Russia. Totally not Russia has invaded has invaded totally not America, and as a result, both sides are now at war.
So basically,
yeah. Give me a second, folks. Little apologies. I'm gonna try my best to get Wheelgirl up to speed without taking too much time. Don't worry. Don't worry, Wheelgirl. It's not a big problem. I mean, I actually enjoy showing this off. But yeah, this is the Ace Combat World map. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit because this actually involves a section of the map. The last game that I played took place here on Usia, or Usia, and I was fighting all the way to Eurasia, which is over here.
Where you stopped some crazy people from using a weapon.
A super weapon that was meant to shoot down asteroids, yes. And now we fast forward to Ace Combat 5, which takes place on this continent called Osea. Yes. And we're right here in this place called November City, where somehow this country over here, which is totally not Russia, has managed to get aircraft into totally not America. Now go ahead, Wheels.
No, you get finish first.
There was someone asking who else is there with you. This is Wheelgirl. Wheelgirl. You may notice her in the chat as Wheelgirl23. Sorry, I named you. I apologize.
Finish your thing.
Well, I just got through saying that somehow not Russia managed to get some aircraft into November City for the sole purpose of stirring up trouble.
So basically, the Cold War it's happened. Names have been changed to protect the innocent.
I guess it's one way of going about it.
But the names have been changed to protect the innocent. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Yeah, pretty much. But you'll probably notice a couple of similarities with the world, because if you look closely right around here, that lake formation looks kind of familiar, doesn't it? But yeah, that is what's referred to as the world of Strange Reel. Strange Reel. I wish I was making this up.
That's cool. He's coming at 5. Cold War gets hot. Things have been changed to protect the innocent.
And up there, that's totally not Greenland. And eventually, when we get around to it, we'll be doing Ace Combat 6 as well, which takes place up here, this land of Emeria and Estevakia. But one thing at a time, right?
Yeah, let's continue. Cold War gets hot, but names have been changed.
Get them as far away as possible. All right, let's think about our priorities here.
Evacuation has begun.
Well, yeah, but they can't get out that fast.
Why'd the Vice President have to assemble so many people here? Jeez, what a moron.
Captain Davenport, shut your mouth and take out those enemies.
Aye, aye, sir. Now you're talking.
I should also mention that we have an ongoing story regarding our squadron.
What's the dynamic of our squadron here?
We're being pushed back.
Chopper's a loudmouth, Grim is the newbie, and Nagas and Edge is she doesn't want to lose another flight lead because she feels guilty about the previous captain, the previous flight lead getting shot down because of her. She blames herself, but it wasn't really her fault.
Okay.
Till the very end, you idiot! We've got to protect these people!
Our air defense system's a wet paper bag. How could the enemy penetrate so far inland?
Splash one fighter!
We aren't in a good position here.
Bandits in gun range. 3 more minutes.
What's the point of this mission? Quad 6, watch yourself. Don't let your captain hear that. You can thank those damn warmongers for all this. If you're gonna attack the vice president. The rest of us just want peace. I guess we just took a step back on the road to peace.
Bandit shot down. Blaze just bagged one. Kid, this is Chopper. Are the reinforcements close? Roger. I'll hang on a little longer. Too many. Too many. There's too many.
They're firing. Taking evasive action.
Missile shot trashed.
We can't let them take control of the airspace.
Missile break!
I should mention,
That's a kill.
Locked on.
we're up against the totally not Russians, but at the same time,
There's too many of them.
they seem to speak
2 minutes
perfect
until Allied
English.
reinforcements arrive.
Okay. I'll get ready to
And
pass the baton.
Not even, they don't even have Russian accents.
I blame the voice actors. The people who pick the voice actors.
What? Who is this?
And I stand by that.
Anyway, drill is over. Return to base.
Wait! What are you talking about? ACCM! Restore communication link!
The Allied planes aren't coming. What's going on?
Reinforcements are on
So
the way.
we've been waiting
Just
for
hang in there.
reinforcements to come in, and now they're not coming.
Damn it! None of the bases are responding to me! What don't you understand? There's an air battle above the stadium!
The vice president has already left the stadium. There's still people in the general admission seats. Who's evacuating them?
Bandits in gun range!
They won't be able to evacuate the citizens in time.
They sure picked a bad time to attack. The stands are packed. Any bomb dropped in this place will be a living hell.
Bandit down!
Emergency exits, escape slides. We're using everything. He's shooting.
Ow.
Don't let anyone linger around the gate. They're blocking the way.
Archer, Fox 2. Target hit. This is Archer. Enemy plane shot down.
Missed.
Fox 2! Fox 2!
You don't scare me. I've cheated death a million times. All right, I finally shook it off.
I don't have a key for this. Can I shoot off the lock?
You don't scare me. I've cheated death a million times. Fox 2!
Chopper, you just said that.
I thought this was gonna be an easy job. Damn it!
Fox 2.
Fox 1! Fox 1!
You request backup from the local police.
Fox 2. Missile hit.
The main gate's swarming with an angry mob. A missile. I can see spectators running for their lives.
All right, I finally shook it off.
I can't dodge it.
Fox 2.
Divert the enemy's attention over here. Get out of there, everyone. I'll buy you as much time as I can. The enemy's all over my back today. Are they singling me out or what?
Nice kill, Captain.
Wow, real dogfight. I kind of wish I could stay and watch. He's in my 6. You want me to page a parent for a lost kid? Jeez, not now. Reason for the evacuation?
Why not have the feeling you're going, even though you succeed in the mission, you're going to fail it, but the end result's going to be a failure and that steam's going to blow.
Gory's on 1. The sky isn't sanitized yet, but go ahead and begin your attack. Roger, 1. Commencing attack on the stadium.
Are you alright? You've been hit.
Ah, it's nothing big. I'm not wounded. I ought to be able to keep this plane in the air a little longer. Besides, planes are expendable, right, kid? That's it, kid. That's the kind of line I expect from a captain.
Approaching release point. We're counting on your escort until we reach the target. How much time has Elite Strike Force wasted against those 4 planes?
Is anyone in contact with those fighters overhead? Just 4 planes? Can they defend us until the evacuation's complete? Calm down. We'll just have to trust the Air Force.
Chopper, can you bail out?
Well, that's kind of difficult right now.
All airborne aircraft, do not return to base. November City is still under attack. This is not a drill. Repeat.
There's nothing but houses down below. I can't leave this plane yet. Kid, you see any place where I can drop this plane? Way to go, Captain. So where?
The stadium, Chopper. Can you hear me? Drop it into the center of the stadium and bail out. Do you understand?
Roger. Good idea. Gives me some hope I just might make it. I'd better wait for the crowd to evacuate some more.
Look, one of the Rosgreaves planes is trailing smoke.
Are they done evacuating yet? Damn it! My cockpit's emergency alarm won't shut up!
Aim for that plane. Now's our chance to take out the demon.
Please tell me.
All enemy stealth fighters, confirmed destroyed. We've called back the Allied fighters.
A little too late, man. There goes the radar. My circuits are toast.
Look, forget about it, Chopper. Just bail out. Please, bail out.
Okay, guess now's the time.
This is Thunderhead. Captain Davenport, are you alright?
There's the stadium. I'm dropping the plane over there.
Roger. Now get out.
I can't. The electrical system's all messed
Well,
up.
don't need that.
Ejection seat's probably not working either.
Don't give up. Chopper, keep trying. Chopper!
I'm gonna miss that voice.
I hate to say this now, but there's a second enemy wave approaching. All units, engage.
These guys are demons. We can take them. All right. Engage the remaining enemy fighters.
What was that for, Reese?
Did you not see?
At the second, what happened? Just tell me.
One of my crew had to crash his plane into the middle of the stadium.
Yeah, but what was that? What was that got to do with the noise you made?
Because my command craft had told me that another squad of planes is on intercept course. And I'm like, aye.
Oh boy.
It would help if you actually watch.
I'm currently dealing with some things.
Ah, I see.
Enemy reinforcements inbound. We should separate from the fight soon. This is the true power of the Rosgreys. Don't lose your confidence. We can still beat them.
War Dog, thanks for holding out for us. The reinforcements are here.
Chat room, press F to pay respects.
What happened?
We just got word from the ground. Except for a few injuries and the confusion following the evacuation, there were no civilian casualties in the stadium. He was a model fighter pilot to the end. Join me in saluting Captain Davenport.
Vice President Appleruth escaped from the stadium in his personal vehicle. Despite the late arrival of reinforcements, civilian casualties were kept to a bare minimum. The Yuktobanian fighters' ingress route is currently under investigation. Captain Alvin H. Davenport, who lost his life in the battle, is no longer with the team. He has been granted a posthumous 2-rank promotion.
So, Captain Chopper has been promoted posthumously to Lieutenant Colonel, according to Kiri.
The stadium blew up, didn't it? Or he crashed hard.
The stadium was already evacuated, but he had to crash into the stadium. And he did that because, well, you can't really crash an airplane in a city without risking some injuries.
But that means he landed in a stadium in such a way he died.
Well, had you been watching, you would have known that the ejection seats fused, the canopy was fused. It was fused shut. He couldn't eject because all the circuits were fried.
Oh dear.
Look at that record.
I'm currently.
They're still making them like this.
Oh, I was currently downloading I'm currently downloading and installing different mods for Civilization 4.
They've done a lot of things to reduce the number of parts and cut down manufacturing costs.
Sorry.
Without sacrificing the plane's strength and performance. Very cost effective. You could make 3 planes for the price of 2 this way.
Who's this they you're referring to?
North Ossia
Greece?
Gruder Industries. Formerly the South Belka Munitions Factory. Run by the Belkan government.
But Ossia has taken over that land now. South Belkan technology is being used for Ossia. Why does Yuktobania have this?
Good question. Actually, speaking of Belka, Ossia recruited some Belkan flying aces after the war 15 years ago to strengthen our Air Force. You know about this?
No. Really?
An aggressor squadron comprised entirely of Belkan aces. Our old enemy. Well, that's the rumor anyway. Even an old fox like me isn't sure they exist. I bet the current administration isn't even aware of the story.
Little foreshadowing to the real plot of the game.
Before the Osean ground forces can proceed into the Yuktobanian capital of Sinagrad, they'll have to deal with Kruik Fortress directly in their path. The robust defense of this fortress has stalled the advance of our armies for the past 5 days. If this situation continues for much longer, it will give Yuktobania time to complete preparations for a counterattack. We need to take the fortress and enable our ground forces to reach the enemy capital as quickly as possible. To do this, we will launch an air attack on Kruik Fortress. Our last attack sortie fell prey to their anti-aircraft guns and air defense fighters. Deal a decisive blow to the fortress and its surrounding air power, and support the ground forces as they penetrate the complex. Open the door to Kruik. The day of Sinagrad's liberation is near.
Unfortunately, it's a 3-plane squadron now. So now I can fly the Su-47, one of the best combat aircraft in the game.
Captain, please choose my plane.
Captain, which plane should I use?
I'm not sure about this formation's air-to-ground capabilities. Do you still want to go ahead and launch?
Okay, so we don't have air-to-ground capabilities with my squad mates, even though it's not hard to just fire a missile at a locked-on target on the ground.
War Dog,
But there is a reason I am flying with this squad, which you'll find out once we get there.
Pilots, check your plane and prepare for refueling.
But first, time for a mid-air refueling.
1 mile to refueling craft. 100 yards to go. Blaze, maintain your current flight path. Perfect, Blaze. Commencing refueling.
Grease?
Yes,
If it makes it feel any better, one of the mods I installed is a Star Trek mod where they have each one is from a different era or aspect of Star Trek.
I see.
This is Able. Don't be stupid. Can't you see that wall in front of us? We're getting air support from Sand Island today.
That is kind of a nutty-looking fortress.
Lieutenant Colonel, the enemy sent this message to our armies. This fortress will not be captured. Go back to
You
your
call that
country.
nutty? Explain.
All right then. Let's finish this up quick so we can get home to our families.
Archer, engage.
Because it looks like a death trap.
Allied forces in the air, listen to me. If the ground forces are wiped out, this operation will fail. We need to place top priority on eliminating the threat to our ground forces. We're counting on you.
This is the final obstacle before the enemy's capital city.
You know the Sand Island squadron above us? Supposedly they're the Rosgrays we keep hearing about. Radio intercept team! Does the enemy have something hidden up their sleeve? Our air support's from Sand Island, so don't worry about a thing. Hey, Morozov, I got a bad feeling about this. Be careful. Not again. Didn't you say that last time? I see it. The Colosseum is still in operation.
Yeah, let's get this final frontier plus and all will be fine.
And they're hungry for blood.
And the last one.
If we break through here, the capital's just ahead. Sorry, no visitors allowed. Run along home now. That fortress wall's pretty high. It'd be a blast to break it down. Literally.
Enemy facility confirmed destroyed.
Allied planes overhead. This is the Fer-de-Lance Armored Brigade. Requesting orders to penetrate the fortress. All right, roger that. Air support is with us. All Fer-de-Lance units, forward! HQ to 1st Platoon. Move forward! Here they come. I've been waiting for this.
HQ, we've broken through the southern fortress wall.
Roger. Nice work. First barrier cleared. Wow, in record time, too. I see smoke. Damn it, people, get down. They have a great view on all sides from here. They can target us no matter where we are. This fortress has turned out to be full of surprises. Keep your takeoff roll short. Begin launch. Divide up the time as steep as you can the moment you're airborne. Use max throttle. We'll get shut down before we even make it up. This is the only way. You've got to carry out your mission. Down on the ground.
Enemy planes taking off from fortress runway. They're sending reinforcements to launch a counterattack.
This is missile down. Assess the situation.
Targeting the Rosgrees and the enemy strike craft.
Our threat's been blown off. We can't maneuver. Armored vehicle. King Cobra. Get out while we can still provide cover.
Enemy facility confirmed destroyed.
Watch out for enemy planes. We're dealing with the Rosgrees here. Lure them over here. We'll attack from both sides.
This guy's good.
I need 3 troops over here. Prepare for anti-tank battle. Completely trust you. This is intense from any position. Don't let your guard down. I can't hear you. You gotta talk louder.
Sam, destroyed.
Check your target.
Enemy facility confirmed destroyed.
Concentrate your fire. Defense network destroyed. Damn it. These guys are unstoppable. We don't have any time. There's a fire. The enemy's breached shelter 8 and requesting reinforcements. The air defense
Box
team
2.
will cover you while you take Damn it. Where's our air cover? This is Tarantula. We're halfway through the fortress. If things keep going like this, we just might pull it off this time.
Enemy tanks advancing out of fortress gate.
They're annihilated. That's gotta be some kind of bad joke. More than half the facility has fallen to the enemy. We cannot maintain current defensive position. Request permission to retreat.
Enemy facility confirmed destroyed. AA guns confirmed destroyed.
Get your rear. Ground forces aren't very enough. We might just overrun us this time. Give me everything. Looks like we'll be able to enjoy the new year with our families, thanks to Sand Island. It's them! They're back again! Their attacks are so deadly it's frightening. I can see how they'd be like demons to the enemy. You've got to regain air superiority. The enemy's about to break through.
HQ, we're at the northern fortress wall. We're breaking through.
We only have 3 planes to deal with. At this rate, you'll be able to make up for all that lost time. This is Fer-de-Lance. We're at the fortress exit. Should we go outside? Please advise. Roger. We'll break down the
Sure,
gate.
go ahead and go
Thanks for your
outside.
instructions from above.
What?
To you.
What?
All the
Bust through here like you gotta
the
run all
tank
way to
battalion's
Central.
about to pass through the edge of the fortress and go outside.
Part of the 4 wings of Sand Island, but I only see 3.
And you stuck them in the...
Only good little boys can see the 4th one.
Warning! Missile! Missile!
Root attacks are being repelled as well. The enemy's been hit hard too. We can still push them back.
You okay?
Hang in there. We can still win this.
Archer, box 2. Missile hit. Captain taking fire. Are you all right? Fox 2! Fox 2! Enemy tank confirmed destroyed.
Damn, he's fast. Those soldiers still haven't faltered. Must be their elite force. Get the Rosgrees over here now. Our lives are depending on them.
Please let us make it in time. All right, come on, keep going.
We made it! Northern Fortress Wall taken down! We skewered them! Excellent! Hey,
Yay,
send a
we
message
managed
back
to get
the
through the
enemy.
fortress.
This fortress has been successfully captured. We're going back to our country real soon.
The Sandown Squadron is going to devastate Krueg Fortress. Was the Luftwaffe for the wind, yeah? Yeah, indeed.
I thought this was Russian or American.